In the second week, this is the second presentation about digital media users. We were discussing about the media profile, audience profile of mainstream media, newspaper, television and film. And we learned that the television is primarily meant for entertainment. Young audience and adults are dominating segment of television medium. And newspaper primarily meant for urban and rural segment, but with those having fluency of at least one language. And the film is primarily meant for young audience in the age group of 15 to 24, and one third, nearly 61% of the comes from economically affluent section. So that's a profile of Indian audience segment for television, for newspaper and the film. Now in this presentation, more specifically, we are going to discuss about internet, digital and online platform, and what are the role audience can play in this communication process, and what is the current scenario in Indian context, internet users, the numbers, and if there are any disparity in terms of access and participation with the medium from the rural, urban or gender or educational role, because we have understood that the demographic, psychographic and situational analysis, these are the three primary audience analysis segment. Through that we can understand the audience profile. So we are trying to attempt the digital media audience in this presentation from the Indian perspective. The online medium, it's a very new and it encompasses all the features of newspaper, radio, television, because online medium capable to transmit text, along with the pictures, and it can carry audio, video, pictures, animation, illustration along with the text. They can combine any format, any combination, permutation of these media elements for any information delivery, communication process. But in a digital medium, we don't need a separate gadgets like we discussed in the last week's presentation. Everything is part of the digital medium, because here information is being processed 1 and 0 binary numbers, so there is no loss of information. Information is transmitted from one end to another end because it carries both IP numbers. So this is a basic features of digital media, but one of the speciality with the online medium is interactivity. The audience is a main player here. Informations are delivered in non-linear method. Non-linear method means there is no institutionalized delivery. Of course, there are many institutions, companies are involved in the internet business and online communication system. But information, whatever information we want, that's based on our choice. We will enter the URL address, we will go to a particular page, either directly to the website or through any search engine. We will read the page. From there we migrate to a video, YouTube, or we will go to Facebook. So our transition from one segment to another segment, entertainment to news to the sports, it's kind of based on our choice, what we want. So here is the audience, mainly active audience and ability to communicate. That's the main part here. And mostly because of the interactivity, this active audience profile demands kind of greater role to play. We have the issues, and this is since the medium is not much affordable. Now with the introduction of mobile and the subsidized data plan, and majority of the Indian population having mobile access and data access. Of course, there are issues in terms of how to utilize the medium for personal use, skill, competency. We will come to the specific data in the later slides, and more about competency in slides in the next week presentation, next week topic on media and information literacy. Here we may not be able to use the word audience. Here we have to use a separate term specifically for online platform. Since we are talking about the user, the common person who is in the digital medium, ability to use the platform and ability to produce the content. That's why the medium gives a term for its user as a producer. Producer in the sense P-R-U-D-U-S-E-R, producer, producer and user. That's combined with the producer, but it's not a new concept. The famous author Alvin Toffler, he used this kind of word, production and consumption, in his books in 1970s in the Future Shock, or as well as in 1980 in the Third Wave. He was using the word prosumers. The prosumers means those having ability to consume as well as produce the content. He uses very specifically in the later discussion in 1990s after the introduction of internet, where the internet platform, according to Alvin Toffler, in the internet platform, buyer and supplier share data, information and knowledge. And here the customization happens. Not necessarily it's a one-way direction of information delivery, and both the buyer, he means to say that information delivery people, and the supplier is the one who gets the information. So sender, the receiver, shares the data, shares the information and shares the knowledge. And that was the early discussion in early 1990s by the Alvin Toffler. But in 20th century, in the early 20th century, one specific internet technology facilitated the massive participation of audience in the online platform. Earlier it was more or less kind of though interactivity was guaranteed. Interactive means particular information, selecting the information, migrating from one website to another, hyperlinking, and the interactive element within the text and choice of elements. This kind of limited interactivity was guaranteed in the initial phase of internet medium. But Web 2.0 added a much more clarity, much more provision, much more facilities for the audience and for the producers, for the users to participate. That's why the term the prosumers got a lot of significance after the Web 2.0. And then another scholar, Bruns, in 2008 gave 4 important key points and for prosumers, how far the prosumers involves in the online communication process. In the online platform, we are going much beyond receiving the information. That's what Bruns says, that here the facilities along with the Web 2.0 technology, users has a lot of scope to get involved in that. A lot of successful stories are available, a lot of projects also implemented. Many projects got a huge popularity. Some of the projects are in the top 10 or top 20 highly visited websites. We will see the examples in the later slides. Now I will come to the point regarding the Bruns ideology of prosumers. He used a different term. He used 2 terms like a production and usage. The initial stage, in the first stage of production usage scenario on the online platform, the open invitation is being sent to anyone. Anyone can register with any website. After registration, and you will become a member of that project, and become a member of the project, you have ability to contribute. For example, take a Wikipedia project. Wikipedia, initially it was open to anyone, and without registration also you can edit the content. So it's because of a lot of difficulty to maintain the quality. Later they changed the policy. Now they are either registering the IP number of the computer or mobile gadget, or you have to register yourself. So that's the first stage. It's you become a part of the production process. The second stage, once you become a part of the project, you start contributing that. The contribution goes through multiple checks and balances. You are having ability to check others' article. You can edit, you can remove, you can add, and always you can carry forward the content, the improvement in the article. Similarly, all your contributions are being monitored and edited and vetted, and quality is being checked, and the community is checking the everybody's contribution thing. The third is, it's the online collaborative project. There is no end to that. Today we are developing a project, and after 2-3 months the project is completed, delivered. It's not like the software is not it's not like a software. It's always in the beta mode, beta in infinity level kind of thing. So Wikipedia doesn't ends in any article, doesn't end. Always there is an improvement. New development happens, new information being added, And that's the third stage. Being a part of the project and your contributions being edited, and the project, there is no end to that. Quality improvement and contribution goes on indefinitely. The fourth process, as per the Bruns in the production usage content, is the content is being produced in a collaborative way. So nobody claims the ownership. Nobody can claim. Even the company who operates the project can't claim the proprietary or copyright issue. So the material produced is a kind of open to anyone. And we will take some of the characteristics of some of the major popular Web 2.0 technology, based on which what are the facilities, what are the online opportunities available there. One is anyone can create a blogs. You can create your ID, you can have a blogs, you can start contributing. Others can contribute in terms of comments. Comments can be added and it can be monitored, then podcasting, then social networking sites, wikis, and microblogs and social bookmarking. So these are the popular Web 2.0 technology based operations. Some of the characteristics of Web 2.0 based websites, where the audience can search the content, they can find the links and interlinked content, and they can categorize the content, tagging the content, and it's a kind of extension of pattern matching. Whenever you create a tags, or if you search engine, it always records your activity with the website. Based on your activity, based on the key terms, based on your preferences, automatically the site, without any involvement of a human being, the algorithm customize the content according to your taste. You might have noticed in many e-commerce sites, or in your email portfolio, or in any websites, based on your key search terms, based on your interactivity, the content automatically is being displayed as per your choices. That, of course, you can disable the option in the internet setting in the security and privacy issue, but that's a facility of the 2.0. And some of the examples of Web 2.0 is Wikipedia is the classical example. Wikipedia is being one of the popular website in the top 20 as per the Alexa 2020 ranking. And another one is Facebook, then blogging, Blogsphere, and microblogging, Twitter, and YouTube and Flickr, where the audio and video and photo can be shared. Many of the videos in the YouTube are classified as Creative Commons, and anyone can contribute, and it's unlimited videos are available. There are many more video platforms, but YouTube is a very popular, belongs to Google. And then Amazon.com. Amazon.com, it's a kind of platform in which it's a B2B, where the sellers and buyers they have created a platform in which anyone can come and sell the product, anyone can come and select the product and buy the product. Linux is not a website, it's not any content based, it's operating system. We will come to the profile of internet users in Indian context. We will take the global statistics first, then we will come to the Indian statistics. As per the International Telecommunication Union 2019 data, 53.6% of the international the internet penetration is available in the global context. More or less similar data is available in Indian context also. In India, the 51% of the Indian population having access to the internet connectivity. 49% are not connected. That's digital inequality still exists in that. There is a variation in terms of access, 53.6% in the global context and 51% in Indian context. There is a division within this 53 or 51% in terms of rural or gender wise. If you take a gender gap between the male and female in terms of accessing internet globally, 58% male and 48% female. If you come to the developing countries, it's 52% male and 48% female participation. There is a gap of around 10 to 12% between male and female. And if you look at the popularity of social media, this is the 53% globally or 51% in Indian context. It's about access to internet. Of course, there is a variation in terms of 4G or you have a quality of internet varies from person to person, place to place, and we have discussed about the gender equality, but we will come to the social media popularity. And certain number of websites, social media websites cross having more than billion users. For example, Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, they are having more than 1 billion. Particularly Facebook, it has 2.7 billion users. YouTube has 1.8 and WhatsApp around 1.3 and Instagram close to 1.1 billion users. The massive number of people, and you can understand the significance and the influence of social media based on these numbers. Billions of people are involved and then influence. There's a lot of controversy in terms of Twitter and Facebook in terms of election process in multiple countries there. In Indian context, the Indian population size we can classify in terms of gender. 52% belongs to male and 48% belongs to female. And overall internet scenario, it's 687 million people are having access. That comes to 51% of the Indian population thing. If you come to the social media platform, nearly 400 million Indian users having account in any one of the social media platform. That close to 29% of Indian population having social media participation thing. And that if, like television, newspaper, we were discussing about the age groups. Like that, internet, it belongs to younger audience. Younger audience in the sense is a age group 12 to 29. They are the one occupying 2/3 of the market size. 51% of Indian population having access means 2/3 of that 51% belongs to the age group of 12 to 29 part. When it comes to the what sort of website is being popular among the Indian users, the Google takes number one in terms of search engine level, then YouTube, then followed by Facebook. This is the kind of most visited websites. If you look at the most visited social media platform, YouTube, Facebook and WhatsApp, these are the top 3 popular social media platforms in Indian context. These are the these are websites which is being utilized by younger audience in the age group of 12 to 29. And if you look at the last 2 points I would like to share before concluding this workshop, this presentation, we look at the gender participation in the social media, particularly we take the example of Facebook and Twitter. 77% of male participates in the Facebook activity, liking, posting, sharing, a lot of activity. When it comes to the female, it's a 22.8. It's a January 2020 data in the Facebook in Indian context. If you look at the Twitter data, and 85% is being dominated by the male participation, and whereas 15% belongs to the female level. When come to the television and newspaper, we saw not much deviation in terms of rural and gender gap. But if it comes to digital media, there is a huge gap in terms of rural and urban and male and female, particularly in the social media platform. So this we will discuss much more in the later weeks, particularly in the topic gender and media. So with this, I'll conclude this presentation. Thank you.